Hello, I'm Sarah. I'm an artist with Seint, and today we're going to talk all about how you can color correct with our 3D foundation. A while back I did a video on color correcting with Demi, but not everyone uses Demi. So I'm going to show you today how I color correct my hyperpigmentation. I have that all along my cheek area, how to color correct this little bit of redness on my nose, only using our 3D products. So let's get into it. I'm going to start. I already primed my face, and I always use my Milani eyeshadow primer under my eyes to help prevent creasing, and I also put it in my laugh lines here. It just helps the makeup stay better, in my opinion. You do not have to use that. It's just something that I found that works for me. So in order to cover hyperpigmentation, you're gonna need a shade that's darker than your skin tone. So as you can see, these little spots are not the color of my skin. So if I put my main shade on those, it's not gonna cover it. So I need a shade that's darker than my skin tone, and today I'm gonna be using the color Mango. Mango is great for covering hyperpigmentation and, freckling, scarring that's not red, things like that. So we're gonna try this out, but first I'm going to color correct the redness on my nose. So I'm gonna grab the blend brush. This brush is awesome for a really light application, and I like using the small end, and I'm gonna dip into Aspen Contour, and I'm just gonna lightly feather that on my redness. And I don't have a lot of redness, so I don't need very much at all. But this contour is ashy, kind of grayish, so that cancels out the red. And we're not slapping on a thick layer of it or anything. We're just lightly feathering that on so that it cancels out the redness in my nose. I'm gonna actually try it here. I have to be very, very careful about what I put under my eyes and how much, because I'm crepey under there. I have fine lines and wrinkles, so we don't want a lot of product under there. And actually, I don't even know that I put any, enough to even do anything, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna move on now to my Mango, and I'm gonna take the fluffy end. This brush is really dirty, I need to clean it. Anyway, I'm gonna tap in, and I'm just going to feather that all over the areas where I need extra coverage. And we're not putting a thick layer of this on. We're just feathering that. And you can see that it's darker than my skin tone. It's giving me a little bit of an orange look, but that's because it's not my shade. And we're doing this on purpose. So now you can take this if you have a lot of issues, and you can lightly feather a thin layer of this all over your face if you want. I'm just gonna focus on my cheek areas where I have the most hyperpigmentation, and then right in my contour area I have some too. So I'm just gonna pat that in there. Okay, I'm getting a breakout. Cool. Now, this spot right here is not hyperpigmentation, that's a scar. So it's a little bit of a different color than the rest of my freckling through here, so we're not gonna worry about that right now. I'm gonna go into now my regular 3D foundation routine here. So I'm gonna take my 3D brush, and I'm just gonna tap into my main shade, which is actually the color of my skin. And we're just gonna cover what we just did. We're using light layers so that we don't cake this on. Okay, and as you can see, I feel like that covered really well. It actually covered my little scar there pretty well too. So I'm just gonna move on and do my makeup as I normally would now. And when I'm doing my jawline, I'm kind of in between shades right now, so I like to mix a lighter shade with my main shade to kind of help that blend in with my neck. I should have done a little bit of mango here. I have a little bit of discoloration, but mostly that one doesn't bother me as much as my cheeks. So I like the coverage that it's giving me so far. I'm just gonna put a little bit of my main shade up here above my eyebrows. I'm not gonna go all the way up because my contour is gonna be up there. So put a little bit over here, my temples, and we're going to stipple. We are not swiping, because if we swipe this product all around in the areas that we just color corrected, it's just gonna wipe it right off. So we don't want that. Bring it down your neck. Okay, and you can see that just kind of blurred that area and made it look really nice and smooth and more even. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of that main shade, pop it right there, and pop it right there. We're gonna brighten this area in a little bit. So I'm gonna move on now to contour. So I'm gonna switch brushes. I like to use the detail brush, the large end, and I'm gonna take my contour shade. And a lot of people do their contour first. Honestly, this whole process is personal preference. You can do this however you want, and that's what's so great about it. It's customizable to each person. And if you don't like contouring, don't do it. I never contoured until I started using this makeup, but I started doing it because it's so easy. Like, why not, you know? Okay, I have a little rainbow up here. I'm gonna leave that for a minute. Then I'm gonna move to my whole table. We're gonna take the contour, we're gonna put it right in that shadowed area there, and we're just stippling that. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I'm shaking you guys all over the place. There's a hair stuck to my face. There we go. Stippling that on. All right, now we're going to take this contour and just lightly flick it upward to blend it out. Because remember, we put product here before the contour, so we don't want to move it around too much. We'll lose our coverage. Okay, and then I'm just gonna connect the forehead contour with the cheek. Okay, and then I'm gonna switch back to my 3D brush, and we're just gonna do little circles to kind of blend that in nicely. Okay. I feel like this side needs blended just a smidge more. I have to look in my mirror. Can't really see. Now I like a more defined contour. You may not. So if you don't like it so defined, just keep blending it. But you have to be careful blending contour because it can just blend away. Okay, now we're gonna go into our brightening shade. And let's use the small end of the detail brush. I'm just gonna tap in, and I'm gonna put that right between my eyebrows, on my cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin. Then I'm gonna take a small amount and pop it right on my inner corner there. Inner corner here. You can bring it down a little bit. to that trough area. And then on the outer corner of each eye, going upward because we want to give our face a lifted look. Okay, that's all the places I'm going to put this. Well, we can do the end of the nose because that's cute. Okay. I'm just going to take what's left on this detail brush and kind of pat some of that contour on my nose. I don't contour my nose per se, but just putting a little bit of that darkness back in there to give my face some dimension. All right, now I'm going to take the small end and I'm just going to tap this out. Now, as you notice, I did not put that bright color right here. We're going to blend them together and bring it over, but we are not placing product directly under the eye because my eyes are maturing. The more product you put under there, the more textured it's going to look. And we don't want that. So, you know, look how just pretty and bright that made my under eye area look. It looks really nice. So, moving on to this side, do the same thing. We're just going to blend that out. And you end up, you know, you blend it with your main shade. And we're going to take the brightener that's here and we're just going to move it up and out, fan it, so that it blends in with that forehead contour. I'm going to tap this out on my Cupid's bow and tap out the chin. Now you don't have to brighten either, but just look at how pretty that made my face look. When you put just one color on your whole face, I mean, it can look nice, looks kind of dull, but when you add contour and brightening, it just gives your face so much dimension and it just looks so nice and natural. Our faces are not one color. So by adding contour and brightening, it really makes your face pop. Okay, so got that. It's looking good. I'm gonna take my perfector sponge and I like to just pat over everything I just did. And that pushes it into the skin really nicely. Now we have to be careful over this area that we color corrected because we don't want to wipe away all the work we just put in. Flip it to the small end. Just pat out that eye area. This perfector sponge is great for more maturing skin because it really helps push the product in and it just leaves your skin looking so natural. It takes off excess product if you overdid it. It's just a really good little tool to have. Okay, so the main part of my face is done. I'm just gonna go in with some blush. I think I'm gonna use Hollywood today. This one right here. Tap into that. And again, we have to be careful applying this because we color corrected in this area. So I'm gonna hang back a little bit from where we color corrected and I'm just gonna pop that right above my cheekbone, right on it, really, and bring it up on my temples. Do the same thing on the other side. Hang back. This is a really nice color. I feel like it doesn't get enough credit. It's really pretty. Okay. Now, if you get too crazy with your blush and you go too far into where you brightened, all you need to do is take a brush and just pull that a little bit. And this stuff blends out so easily, it just goes where you want it to. So that looks really nice. I am going to also find my eyeshadow here. I don't do a ton of eyeshadow. It's just every day, it's just not my jam. So let me see. I'm going to do the eyeshadow brush. I'm going to use the small end, and I'm just going to tap into this color right here. It's called Labyrinth. It's a cool grayish brown. So pretty. So I'm going to take this right underneath my lash line here. Just kind of give me a little smoky look. If you couldn't tell, I love cool tone eyeshadows. When I use them, I gravitate towards cool tones, but I'm gonna work on doing some more warm looks for you guys. But okay, that's it. And then I would take some setting spray, spray my face. I would add some lip, add some mascara, and that's all. But I just wanted you guys to look at, you know, see the coverage that you can get with this makeup. It's so good, but it still looks natural. It doesn't look like I'm wearing a mask on my face. My actual, you know, my skin is shining through, but my imperfections are covered, so can't beat that. If you guys are interested in this makeup and trying it, send me a color match. I'll put the link to my free form down below, and thanks for watching.